A vibrant, beloved young woman named Lily James was brutally murdered. And the most terrifying part? The killer wasn't some stranger in the shadows. He was someone everyone knew, someone who was hiding a monstrous secret right out in the open. To the outside world, Paul Tyson was, a pillar of the community, a well-liked sports coach at a prestigious school. He was basically the last person you'd ever suspect of doing something so violent. So that's the big question we're going to unpack. How does a guy who seems to have it all together become a murderer? Let's follow the evidence and see how that perfect image completely crumbled. Okay, first things first, we need to understand the people at the heart of this tragedy. And that starts with the victim, Lily James. This quote really sets the stage for the whole investigation. The sheer brutality of the crime suggests this wasn't just some sudden, impulsive act. No, this points to something that had been festering under the surface for a very, very long time. So, who was Lily James? Well, by every account, she was a true life force. I mean, just 21 years old, and she's already coaching, going to university, just building this amazing future for herself that was so cruelly stolen. For her family, she was everything. And then there's Paul Tyson, only 24 years old, a colleague from the same school where Lily coached. They'd had a very short relationship, just 5 weeks, before it ended. And from the outside, it all seemed completely normal. And that idea of normal is so important here, because the facade that Paul Tyson built was basically flawless. It hid the truth from absolutely everyone. Just look at this disconnect, right? To Lily's friends, Paul was this chatty, helpful, normal guy. To her mother, he was part of this mature, casual relationship. No one, and I mean no one, saw a single red flag. And this quote from Lily's mom, just relaying what Lily had told her, it paints a picture of a very modern, no-strings-attached kind of thing. It was supposed to be simple, fun, and end without any drama. Which, of course, makes what happened next just so much more shocking. And, just like they planned, it ended. Only a week before the murder, Lily told her friends it was mutual, that they were just going to be friends. From her point of view, and everyone else's, it was over. Case closed. But for Paul Tyson, it clearly wasn't.
So what really went down on the night of the murder? Well, this is the moment where the mask didn't just slip. It was ripped off.
This timeline is just methodical and so chilling. He follows her into a gym bathroom with a hammer. He comes out over an hour later by himself, and then he uses her phone to text her own father. It's a final, calculated act of pure cruelty. Her parents' words here, they're just devastating. They believe he sent that text message hoping her father would be the one to find her body. Can you imagine? It wasn't a cry for help. It was just an act of pure evil from a monster. So the question is, why? Why this level of insane rage over what was supposed to be a mutual, casual breakup? A forensic psychologist on the case points to this concept, narcissistic injury. This isn't just about feeling hurt or sad. It's an explosive, violent rage that gets triggered when a person with this disorder feels rejected or humiliated. And the forensic psychologist is very clear on this point. Paul Tyson didn't just snap. This was planned. Lily ending the relationship, no matter how nicely it was done, was a rejection his ego simply could not handle. It triggered that narcissistic injury, and his response was cold-blooded murder. But as the investigation went on, it became chillingly clear that this wasn't his first violent reaction to being rejected. There was a hidden history here. An ex-girlfriend came forward, and her story revealed this terrifying pattern of control. It all started with small things, obsessive texts, demanding she share her location all the time, the kind of red flags that are so easy to miss in the moment. When she tried to end things with him, his behavior escalated fast. He punched a tree and told her it was because he couldn't punch her. I mean, that's not just anger. That is a direct, terrifying threat of violence. The terror really hit a peak when she saw him just staring into her home at dawn. She described him as looking deranged. And in that moment, she knew she was in real danger. She saw the mask slip completely, years before he ever even met Lily. And think about this for a second. When the news of Lily's murder broke, before any suspect was even named publicly, his ex-girlfriend's family knew. They told each other, "It's Paul." They weren't surprised because they had already seen the monster behind the mask. In the aftermath of this unbelievable tragedy, Lily's family is channeling their grief, their pain, into a powerful call for change. You can just hear the raw, unfiltered anger in her father's words. He calls Paul Tyson exactly what he is: selfish, self-centered, and entitled, a pretty perfect description of the narcissism that led to all this. But beyond their anger, Lily's family is pushing for a really vital conversation. They put it so simply: we are raising strong, educated women who know what they want. But are we teaching our young men how to handle rejection when the answer is no? This crime didn't just take one life. It completely shattered the sense of safety for an entire community. And it leaves us with this haunting question from one of Lily's closest friends, a question that lingers long after the case is closed. After something like this, how do you ever learn to trust someone again?